There's been a giant outpouring of support from the communities, from the citizens, for the doctors, for the essential personnel. Turn this down. Um, and and that's awesome. I mean, it's awesome that people realize that these guys are risking their lives with improper PPE, reusing masks for weeks, uh, wearing trash bags as coverings, and America's supposed to be first, right? But I feel somewhat like the doctors and nurses are kind of like Rommel during World War II. Rommel was a general that did not engage in war crimes for the most part. I think they had prisoners of war build something, and he wanted to pay them for it. He wanted to pay them for it. That's great. That's great. I think that people look for the good German. It's like we look at white folks during slavery and we try to find the good white people. Or we look at John Kennedy and we try to find the good white people during civil rights. But it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Just an aside, I think that John Kennedy, I think his brother knew the world was changing. I think they were ahead of the time. And some white people choose to go along, get ahead of what's going on. That's how they're successful. Is that because they care about black people? Not sure about that. I think that, like I said, it's like black people looking for the good white people. We're always looking for the good. We're trying to find the good. And you look at the Nazis, you look at Rommel, I mean, he knew what was going on when he came back. When they came back from Africa, he knew what was going on. Was the mayor of Frankfurt or something was talking to him? They knew. He knew. And he didn't come out. I think that's how I look at these doctors and nurses. It's awesome what they're doing, and I'm proud of them. But what are you doing it for? Trump coming out calling New York doctors and nurses liars, thieves, they're stealing the equipment. You're fighting for that? I'd have been fired by now. I tell you, if I was a doctor, I'd have been fired by now. I mean, you're telling me this president wasted 2 months lying. 2 months. And then you turn around and call the doctors and nurses liars and thieves? Fuck you. They're risking their life. And this did not have to happen. So now when I come up here to go to work, I gotta get a thermometer stuck up to my head because some jackass wasted 2 months not preparing, not warning the public. And I'm supposed to sit here, the doctors and nurses. I think that people want to keep things non-political. But we're just at the point now to where you can't do that. When someone fucks things up as badly as this administration has fucked up the COVID-19 response, I just there's no way to be nice about it. There's no way to be nice. We're beyond that. We should have. I think the COVID-19 and the United States government's response to it shows you that America first is about the corporations and about the rich. It shows you the working class people can go hang. I think COVID-19 was a big fuck you to the working class. I hope the left understands that. This is not a mistake. I just watched an interview with a gentleman by the name of Honore, that he was the top officer during the Katrina crisis. And he was talking about how, it makes no sense. It's just crisis capitalism. I was shocked to see that because most of the time they don't come out and talk like that. But it's too late. So a part of me believes that Trump, he talks this shit because it's too late. It's too late to do anything about it. Even if he wanted to, a lot of folks are going to die. A lot of doctors and nurses are going to die. I just hope in the future, for anybody in another country that's a doctor, don't come to America. Don't be a doctor here. This is how we treat doctors and nurses in a crisis. We waste too much. We don't prepare. And then when the doctors and nurses complain about not having the tests, then we call them liars and thieves. This is America. This is America for the working class. It's not America for the billionaires. I'm not talking about them. For people who work for a living, this is America. This is how it works. You don't matter. And I think it's, I say this every day almost, they've made the decision to let this thing run through population. I think it's so tragic. All these old folks are going to die for no reason. And they're going to die blessing Trump with their final breath. They're going to die not knowing that you didn't have to die. You know what I mean? In a logical system, you just couldn't prevent it. You know, I'm at the point to where, I've said it before, I'm amazed to see the response of the South during this pandemic. You've got states that are still they're just now telling you they found out that COVID-19 is asymptomatic. I knew this over a month ago. Georgia. I mean, you've got Florida, they just now went on a state of emergency months in. I mean, this is the South. If I did a video. February 20th, my birthday. I was doing this job. I was doing this exact job. Like wearing a green shirt. And I did a video where I spoke about how I don't want to get old working with a bunch of rednecks. And that was just based upon my opinion and how I felt at the time. COVID-19 let me know I'm not even speaking the same language as these people. Like, hell yeah, I wear a gas mask. Like, fuck yeah. You're damn right I wear this. Because I realize with the South, they really don't value human life. They don't. Southerners don't value human life. They don't. They don't think the way I do. They're not going to think the way I do. They're not going to respond to modern problems with thinking ahead. They're not going to do it. That's not going to happen. They are totally fine with letting people die off to preserve capitalism, and they're willing to die themselves to preserve capitalism. It's just so tragic. But I always tell y'all, in everything, I thank God when something is shown to me. When I'm shown something. This is one of those things. If you got a brain cell in your head and you know that, hey, capitalism's breaking down, get the hell out of the South. Get the hell away from these people. Isn't it amazing that this is what gets me? They back Trump. They defend Trump. It's Democrat hoax. But then when you come to work and they got the thermometers on your head, and a certain general says, hey, make a t-shirt mask. What the a t-shirt? I watched the video last night. I couldn't believe it. The U.S. government has stooped to the point where they're telling people to make t-shirt masks. Peace.